What's poppin', beautiful people up in YouTube land? I put the 3 and G value, feel me? And this vid right here is, can you really wear 35-year-old sneakers? Personally, somebody that has a 20-year-old sneaker, it's possible for a 20-year-old sneaker. I mean, granted on what kind of sneaker it is. Like, if it has like an air bubble and it's like foggy, that's a clear indication that it's gonna poof on you. To be honest, all shoes is gonna just mess up over time. I mean, for a 35-year-old, I don't know. I don't own anything 35 years old. I think it depends on the sneaker, but honestly, I think you would still need like a sole swap or something like that on like a 1, because it's probably gonna be like poofy. It's gonna probably poof on you. But I want to check it out. It's gonna be very informal. Check it out.
What's up, guys? One of the common things that gets asked here a lot is, can you really wear 85s? Well, won't they crumble? So today's video is all about that, wearing 1985, specifically Jordan 1s. So we're going to cover tips to make them comfortable, tips to buying a shoe, what to look for if you plan on wearing it, and then finally the do's and don'ts of wearing 85 Jordan 1s. After all, these shoes are 35 years old. You don't want to get too crazy with it. So for those of you that are new, this is Vintage Kicks Gallery.
Cause like legit, I'd be seeing people with 94s. So that's a 26-year-old shoe. So I mean, it's possible. I'd say another fun fact: actually wearing your shoes saves your shoes. Like if you wear it in between, like here and there, it actually saves it from like if you just keep it in a box and you just keep it dead stock. That like lowers the timeline of the sneaker. It's kind of weird, but we got everyone, bro.
Alright, so I've got a couple examples in front of me of 85s, and we're going to start off with determining if the shoe is wearable or not. Most of these 1985 Air Jordans are going to be wearable at this point, but there are some that aren't. It's all determined by how was the shoe properly stored, was it in a climate with a bunch of temperature changes, etc. So the first thing you want to do is ask the seller, if you're looking at a new pair, are the soles hardened? So that's pretty easy, but if you have your shoes in hand and you want to know, okay, is this borderline too hard or not? Easiest way to do this is put it on a surface and see if the shoe still has grip. If there's still grip, 100% wearable, you're good. If there isn't grip, you need to move on to the second test, and that is the flexibility test. So you should be able to flex the sole, and especially going in on the sides. If you can't do that, or you do that and they start to crack, obviously they're not wearable. So you really need to address that before you buy the shoe, or if you already have it, make sure you do that ahead of time, because if you put a shoe like that on, chances are the sole is gonna just crack into pieces as you walk.
That makes sense. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Like that bending it, cause that shit'll fold. Like especially cause like what he said when it if it doesn't have grip, if it's super hard, that's probably what it would be like if you don't wear it. It'll just get stiff. So
the next thing I want to cover is some tips on wearing 85s, because these shoes do require a little bit extra effort. So you'll notice that most people that wear 85 Air Jordans have them laced to the very top. That's because that's the way the shoe is intended to fit. It has the high tongue, etc. Now, what people don't tell you is getting these things off and on. Not only is it dangerous, but it's also a lot of work. So let's cover both of those. What I mean by dangerous is, if you don't have these things unlaced all the way and you're just trying to shove your foot in there and pull them off, like you generally do, you take a risk at the most fragile part of this shoe being the collars, separating, tearing, flaking. So you don't want to do that. I always recommend take the shoelaces and undo them almost all the way. Make this so your foot just slides right in, and then lace the shoe on top. Does that take extra work? Absolutely, but it's totally worth it for peace of mind. All right, the next thing you're gonna wanna do as far as a do's and don'ts and a tip is take out the original insole. All right, number one, they're not comfortable anymore. Number two, you want to preserve that original insole. And number three, if you don't, it's just going to crumble into dust below you. So you might as well take them out and put in a really good insole. I recommend either put one in that you already have that you're really comfortable with, or I'll link you below to our choice. The thing you want to look at when replacing the insole for an air...
I like those memory foam insoles, bro. That's the best. But the ones they got like from Skechers, bro. Oh, memory foam soles is amazing.
In 1985 is the style is actually different than the modern. So if you look at a modern insole, you're going to notice that it's essentially a really flimsy piece of fabric and a little bit of foam. Whereas on the 85s, they have more of a Air Max style with a specific arch of your foot area in it. It's much thicker and it has a lot more shape than rigidity to it. So you want to replace the insole with something like that. So next tip is pick the right colorway to wear. All right, these guys are a personal wearing pair of mine, and as you can see, the metallic is virtually gone. That's because you really don't want to wear metallics. I mean, I wear these because they are gone, but if you have a really nice pair of metallics, you start to wear them, even if you baby them, that metallic is going to flake. So I really recommend people staying away from metallics if your plan is to wear the shoe. Next thing you want to kind of be careful of.
Metallics went up, bro. I remember I could have got a pair of metallics for like $60, bro. The red one. And then the blue ones is like, I think like 70?
Is like when you're lacing the shoe and tightening the shoe, these laces, they don't hold up that well over time. So you can either replace the lace, which I don't recommend doing because 85s have a specific style in the lace. But when you're tightening these things up, be very aware that these things can snap really easily. And I've had at least 4 or 5 of these snap on me throughout the years. It sucks. There's nothing you can do about it if it happens, and you're just out of luck. Another thing you want to do with your 85s is proper storage. So we've already covered some storage options. There's plenty of good ones out there, but let's talk about what to do prior to putting the shoe away. If you think you're not going to wear these for a long period of time, make sure you put them away clean. It's that dirt that causes a lot of the issues with the leather and even the rubber soles. If you put them away clean, they're in much better shape. That's the way to do it. The other thing is get yourself a good shoe tree. You've all seen the adjustable shoe trees that I use during the restoration videos. Those are my go-to. Helps prevent the creases, helps maintain the shape, and overall you just want to use those. You can even really get crazy, get cedar ones if you have a really nice pair, but it's completely up to you. Now, let's talk about comfort here. We've already talked about the insole. That makes a big difference, but I recommend, we all know 85s run a little small. I recommend sizing up a full size actually if you can get away with it, because the looser these things are, the more comfortable they are, especially when you start getting into...
I got wide feet here, so damn, I would have to get like a 12? Jesus Christ.
Now luckily these are super nice and these aren't. So when they get crunchy and the collars are really, really bad like that, it's essentially like walking around with no padding back there. You feel the back of the leather, you feel the actual heel cup. So I recommend never wearing no-show socks with these, but if you wear a sock that's a little bit thicker, it gets you away with more. The other thing you can do is go to Target, Walmart, probably on Amazon, and get some pads that stick into the back of the heel. These are mainly meant for women's shoes, but believe me, they make a big difference on 85 Jordan 1s. So if you can get away with that, go for it. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. It stops the blisters and makes for a better day of wear. So the final thing I want to cover is the common question that gets asked, and that is, won't they crumble? And the short answer to that is no, absolutely not.
Oh, really?
These things are built like tanks, guys. They are so strong that the glue doesn't come off from the...
Know what it is? I think it's like once 2000 hit, Jordan brand, when they started re-retroing stuff, they started using like flimsier material and shit. So like when this came out, like it was like the the prototypes are like when he was playing ball, and so that's probably why they hold up better. Like from the 80s
from the soles,
and the 90s.
The stitching's always good. They're not fused together, so these things are really, really, really well made. I mean, they're tanks. You could probably wear these another 30 years with a different sole. So no, they won't crumble. So guys, overall, that's the tips and tricks of wearing 1985 Jordan 1s. I highly recommend it because what shoe looks better on feet than an 85 Air Jordan? Let me know if I missed anything, if you have any tips and tricks on your own. The only other thing I would like to point out is, again, taking them off and putting them back on. Be really careful not only of the collars, but these checks, because the checks tend to crack if they flex too hard. So if you're the kind of person that likes to just shove your foot in there or kick them off with your other foot at the end of the day, these are not right for you. All right, guys, that's going to do it. We'll see you next time.
Damn, I ain't gonna hold you. My son put me on to a lot of shit, bro. Because I've been looking at trying to get a vintage pair of ones. I want to, bro, this is probably never going to happen because the price is skyrocketing, but I want a pair of Chicago's, bro. Like a 94 or 85, bro. I really, That's the sneaker that I need, bro. Need those, man. So much for me procrastinating, so like the prices got crazy. But I definitely wanna try 85, bro. Like, I just love how vintage sneakers look. Like, and this is not me just falling into the hype. Like, everybody, oh yeah, you just saying it because vintage is in, bro. You look at me from high school, bro. I rocking vintage sneakers, bro. Like I just said, I have an over 20-year-old sneaker, the Sixers. Like, back in the day, bro, I used to just be on eBay heavy buying old shoes, rocking them in high school. But so I ain't gonna hold you. Very informal, my dude. Good looks with this video, but it's your boy Gino out of here. Peace.